Hello everybody, it's clickbait time. If you're looking for your annual top 10 roller coasters in the UK video, you've come to the right place. Now, because the ones of these I've made in the past have got striked down by YouTube because I stole other people's POVs, unfortunately for you, you're gonna have to hear my voice in this one. Oh, I know, isn't that just disgusting? But anyway, yeah, I've made these for a few years now, and I did lose over 3/4 of all the views on my channel in a day when they got taken down. Anyway, let's hope this season's better than last year. There's even some new good roller coasters opening in the UK this year, so you'll have to wait and see if they are on the list. But anyway, without going on anymore, let's get into it. So at number 10, we have the Flamingo Land 10 inversion coaster, which is new. No, I can't say that. So this roller coaster is a clone of Colossus. Oh, I can't say that either. There's a lot of things to discuss about this roller coaster, so let's start from the beginning. In about 2011, Intamin manufactured a 10 inversion roller coaster for a park called Hopi Hari. Yes, that is the name of a real theme park in Brazil. But this coaster didn't open because the park didn't have enough money to actually put it together after they bought it. After a few years, they sold it and it moved again to Movie Action Park Studios in Malaysia, who also couldn't build it. So it sat on the car park there for another few years. After all of this, Flamingo Land bought it, and now it's actually been built. So they've done better than those other parks. I've seen it in real life, and it's looking good. This is essentially the same ride as Colossus at Thorpe Park, but there's a few key differences. It's using a different type of track, and the layout of the track has been reprofiled a bit. As well as that, it's going to have new trains with lap bars. Essentially, this means it's going to have a better drop, feel smoother, and you're just going to be more free with a lap bar. One last thing to note about this ride though, is that it hasn't actually been officially confirmed it's going to be opening this season. It was originally meant to open last year, but the park decided against it for obvious reasons. There was a few things last year to say that it would have a 2021 opening, but there's not been a big announcement or any updates on the website or anything like that. So let's just hope that they do manage to take this coaster further than the previous two parks. Anyway, let's talk about some roller coasters that are actually definitely going to be open this year. Number 9 is Oblivion. What a classic. Now, Oblivion is the first roller coaster in the world. Oblivion was the world's first roller coaster to have a vertical drop. No. Can't say that. Oblivion was the world's first roller coaster with an 87.5 degree drop. Wow, okay. It opened in 1998, and for such a short ride, it does pack a punch. I love Oblivion. Every time I ride it, I like it a bit more. It's a bit addicting. And fun fact, it's the fastest roller coaster at Alton Towers. Yep, but by about 1 mile an hour. It's actually also got a 180 foot drop, despite only being 65 foot tall. That's cool. Now at number 8 is Megaphobia, and if you're not a huge roller coaster nerd, you might not have heard of this ride. There's no surprise about that because it is very out of the way in Wales. So this is a wooden coaster at English, no. This is a wooden coaster built by CCI, Custom Coasters International, who are a company that have gone bust since. If you love a classic roller coaster experience with lots of airtime and a ride that might beat you up a bit, this is a great ride. Enthusiasts love it. Yeah, we like it, alright. At number 7 is the Swarm at Thorpe Park. Some of you might think I've put this a bit low, but personally, I don't really like this ride. I wouldn't have put it on the list if other people didn't seem to like it so much. So there you go. So it's a B&M wing coaster, and it has some very good theming, some great head shopper moments going through the billboard and stuff, and it's got an upside down wing over drop, or if you're really cool, a Wardley wing over. I don't know why, but for me, wing coasters just don't do that much. They're not very intense or whatever, but I can definitely see why lots of people do like wing coasters because they are quite cool. Now at number 6 is the big one, at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now this is a pretty legendary ride. It opened in 1994 as the world's tallest roller coaster with a height of 235 feet. Except, of course, it's not 235 foot tall, it's actually 213 foot. Anyway, this Arrow Hypercoaster was one of the earlier coasters of the Coaster Wars, which was when parks around the world kept on competing with each other to build the tallest and fastest roller coasters on the planet. Since then, it's been iconic to Blackpool, but how good is it? I find it somewhat boring, but I'm a sad enthusiast that rides too many coasters. So most normal people will think it's an insane huge roller coaster. If you don't spend your life trying to get to theme parks, this is one hell of a coaster. But even as an enthusiast, you can still get some amazing rides on it every now and again if it's running fast, but it's a bit inconsistent. Be prepared for a rough ride, even when it's cruising along straight track. Number 5 is Wicker Man. Wicker Man, oh, it's a fight, it's gonna burn down. Wicker Man, probably the smallest coaster on the list, does a lot with its smaller size. Now this roller coaster is very well themed. It's got smells, it's got a pre-show, it's got real fire, but even without some of the best theming in the country, it would still be a very thrilling ride. Built by GCI, this ride doesn't let the pace slow down, except on Boring Bend, and it will keep you shaking around and flying out of your seat the whole way around with a feeling of speed that just comes out of nowhere. If you haven't been on it and you look at it and think it looks a bit boring, it's not. Now, at number 4 is Stealth at Thorpe Park, the second tallest and the first fastest roller coaster in the UK, and it does all that within a matter of seconds. Now, what's great about Stealth is that it actually has the second fastest acceleration in the world, and that is what makes this ride incredible. 205 foot tall and 80 miles an hour into a massive vertical top hat. If you say Rita is a better ride than Stealth, I will steal all the cans of beans in your house. Anyway, now we're on to the top 3 roller coasters in the country. And at number 3 is Nemesis. No, Nemesis is not at number 1 this year. Nemesis is now 27 years old and is still one of the best coasters in the country. It's a B&M inverted coaster that was built in 1994, and it's really something quite special. This coaster itself is very intense and whippy, especially on the back row, but it also dives through lots of terrain and passes so closely to some rocks I still can't believe it. Many people say this is the best coaster in the UK, and I'm not far off agreeing with that, but it can still manage to shock me when I'm not prepared for the intensity and the sensation of speed you get when you're diving through the valley. Anyway, at number 2, actually, do I build up suspense for this one or not? Because if you know what this one is, you might be able to figure out what the okay, no, I'm gonna get on with it. Number 2 is the Smiler. This ride seems to be better in some years than others, and last year I thought it was running better than ever. This is such an infamous ride. It's got 14 inversions. Think about that for a minute. You might hear that all of the time if you're a coaster enthusiast, but just think, 14 inversions, it goes upside down 14 times. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, sometimes I think this ride was built just to break a record and the ride suffers because of that. But also sometimes I just think it's really fun. It can be slightly jolty in places, but I don't think it takes much away from the ride experience at all. But I have to say, the best 2 moments on the Smiler are the 2 moments where it doesn't go upside down, but that's just my opinion. Right, moving on to number 1. What is it? What? I don't. Let's suspect I'm not good at this. So at number 1 is Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. This is one of the newest roller coasters in the UK, built in 2018. Icon has one of the most modern layouts for a roller coaster in the UK, and that makes it uniquely stand out. This ride has a bit of everything that makes it so good, and it's probably got the best quality and quantity of airtime in it over any other UK coaster. It's also quite intense in places, it has a fast pace at times, and its length also contributes to how good it is. I highly recommend a trip to Blackpool Pleasure Beach for it if you haven't done it before, and you rarely have to queue very long for it as well. It's not perfect, although it's marketed a lot for being the UK's first double launch roller coaster, but the launches are slower than 13's return to the station, and it doesn't really have a great ending either. But Icon has a lot of the things I look for in a good roller coaster, and that's why I think it is the best roller coaster in the UK. So, come to Pleasure Beach, everyone, and try out this fantastic and iconic coaster for yourself. Why do I do this with my life? So, are you mad that Nemesis Inferior didn't make the list? Oh, well, comment down below or argue with others in the comment section. This video is probably going to get seen by a lot more people than my others, so I'll take this opportunity to self-promote. If you're interested, just look at my channel, subscribe, whatever, yeah. Anyway, if you're a regular viewer, thanks for putting up with a very basic video, and hopefully after making this one I won't lose over 300,000 views in a day like the others did. But yeah, there's your yearly top 10 video for the roller coasters in the UK. Yep. Bye.